This is Mark with ClickFunnels, and in this video we'll be going over how to set up the Autowebinar funnel. So the first thing I'm going to do is click Add New Funnel. I'm going to click Host Webinar, Webinar Replay, and then I'm going to give this a name. So I'm just going to call this Autowebinar Demo 2, and then I can choose a tag to group that together. I'm going to click Build Funnel. Now, after this funnel is built, it's going to automatically create these 4 pages: the auto webinar registration, the webinar countdown, the webinar broadcast room, and the webinar replay room. Now, it's important that you choose these exact templates. If you go here, you can select different types of templates, but that's going to make it so that the auto webinar funnel does not work correctly. So by default, it's going to show you the auto webinar templates for the registration page. So you can go ahead and choose one of those, and then after you select that, you're going to go to the next webinar countdown page and select a template here, and then the webinar broadcast room, and you can select any of these, and then the webinar replay room, and there's one template here you can choose. So after you've set this up, then you can go in and edit your pages, and you can customize these to your liking. This is the replay page, and on the broadcast room, let's go ahead and go to that page. There's a setting here to pay attention to, and that is the auto webinar show offer time. Now, this time in seconds is going to indicate the time in your auto webinar where you present the offer. And you can present the offer. You can have the call to action button appear at a specific time by choosing a delay, and you can set that delay in minutes and seconds. And then at the same time, you can have this show offer time in seconds. And what that is going to do is, let's go back here to the registration page, is that's going to trigger these automation emails. So as you can see, when you set up an auto webinar funnel, it's going to automatically create all these emails as well. And you'll notice one that says attended but missed offer, and another that says saw offer but didn't purchase. So the attended but missed offer, that means that the person who attended the webinar left before this time here. If they saw offer but didn't purchase, that means that they stayed until after this time but did not purchase the product. So the best thing to do here is to add a sales page, and you can add a new funnel step, and an order page, and that's how the system is going to know that the user didn't purchase, if the sales page and the order form page are in the same funnel. On the auto webinar registration page, there's a few settings to be aware of as well. So let's go ahead and go over there in the editor. In this template, the registration form is in the pop-up. So we're going to go ahead and open the pop-up here. And you'll see the auto webinar date element, the auto webinar time element, the name element, and the email address. Another thing that you can add here for an auto webinar is local time. And this is going to display the user's local time. And then the other one is the SMS sign up, and you can customize this and choose different options, change the text and everything there. On the date, you can change the select text, and that's what's going to display, that is going to have the user select the date, and the replay text. By default, it says watch replay now. And then on the time element, you can choose between these 5 times. You can toggle them on and off. And so if you only want to have one time available each day, then it'll show that time. So I'm going to go ahead and save this page and show you how the auto webinar registration page works. So when the user goes to the auto webinar registration page, this can have all your information about your webinar, what you're presenting, and then they're going to choose the selected date. If they choose the replay now option, it's going to take them directly to the broadcast room. It's not going to take them to the webinar replay room. The webinar replay room is a page that you can send users to if they have previously attended the broadcast, or if you just want to send the link to somebody and not require them to register for your webinar. So you can choose Watch Replay Now, and if you choose Watch Replay Now, the time element won't display. But if you select a time, then the time options are going to appear, and the user can select from those times. And then if they select this, they can select their mobile, and then input the information for their mobile number. And if they select that, it's going to add the phone number, but it's also going to trigger any automations that you have set up here for mobile. And in order to add these SMS notifications, you would need to have Twilio integrated with your account. And then you can choose the condition. And so for this example, I'm going to say webinar is about to start in 10 minutes. And then what I can do is have this set to 0.16. Then I'm going to select this box, and this delay is going to be relative to when the webinar starts instead of when the contact opts in. So this is going to send the text about 10 minutes before the webinar starts. And I can create that text, and you'll see that the SMS is added here. And so I'm going to go back here so you can see. I'm going to register, and the user is going to show up here. It's going to be the date and time that they selected, and then there's an add to calendar button, and if they click that, they can add it to their different calendar options. Now, it is important to note that the name of the funnel is going to be the name of the webinar for a lot of these merge tags in the emails that go out, as well as the calendar events. So the webinar title here, this merge tag, is going to be whatever you set the funnel title to. And then you can edit these emails if you've set up your SMTP settings in your account. So it's going to populate with the webinar title, the webinar date, the webinar time, and then the link, their specific link to their webinar. And so you can go ahead and edit these and change those to say whatever you like, but those are the merge tags that you can use in these email sequences. There's also their replay URL will show up here, and that's going to take them to the replay room. And then this email here has an offer link, and the offer link is going to take them to the sales page that you add to your funnel here. If you don't add a sales page, then this offer link won't populate. And so let's go ahead and go back to the countdown page. And so the add to calendar button, once a user adds it to their calendar, it's gonna populate the calendar with the webinar countdown page title that is set here in the page variation settings. So this is what's going to appear as the calendar item name when the user adds to calendar. Now, when you test out the Autowebinar funnel, it's important to note that if you go straight to the webinar broadcast room, that the video can be paused and the user can control the video. But if they go through their specific link to the webinar, they won't be able to pause the video, and it'll simulate a live webinar. So that's about it for the Autowebinar funnel in ClickFunnels. If you have any other questions, please reach out to support by submitting a new ticket at support.clickfunnels.com.